abodua se asema wonim ho hwe na wo fa ho gu manimu ase obi a me na metete wo ye obi a na obisi obedu sa position wo nwa ba police man hu na wo tell ne wanya tumi ni ma babonten me am training was commandant ma babonten nti wanya akwan cramsing ni gedi etuo ene cars abesane fie o islego nyame betua oka said the abante and cancer will be tua ma bodua se da bia beso da ye wo densu ma na beso so da ye no dua no benyaw menim se benyaw so na wo be fie me be fie 12 years ni obi anka me ho asem da ba wo nkwasea wo bukọ tra ho no na wo ye wo yi say no wo de aba nipa bebre ni asa asema wura no kan ye na brante en kan fa wo na no kure eduaba mkrofo abro ni ewu a wama nipa okunkum nipa woni nkwada akoye meeting se momfa mkrofo bi nko se mokope am robbers amoku nyina amete nipa amoko se meeting na amoko plan ye nyina minimo na mi se ho asem beba daache mfie dum yenu ni am ba fi obi anka me ho asem boni won se wo na nya si abonten kra na nipa e kan ho asem nipa wokuom nyina mmogya beba oso sika wo wie nyina aye gold ni cash nyina wonni no oda form nyambe tua oka kwas abodua se asema wonni ho hwe na wo fa ho gu manimu ase obi a me na metete wo ye obi a na obisi obedu sa position wo nwa ba police man hu na wo tell ne wanya tumi ni ma babonten me am training was commandant ma babonten nti wanya kwan cramsing ni gedi etuo ene cars abesane fie o islego nyame betua oka said the abante and cancer will be tua ma bodua se da bia beso da ye wo densu ma na beso so da ye no dua no benyaw menim se benyaw so na wo be fie me be fie 12 years ni obi anka me ho asem da ba wo nkwasea wo bukọ tra ho no na wo ye wo yi say no wo de aba nipa bebre ni asa asema wura no kan ye na brante en kan fa wo na no kure eduaba mkrofo abro ni ewu a wama nipa okunkum nipa woni nkwada akoye meeting se momfa mkrofo bi nko se mokope am robbers amoku nyina amete nipa amoko se meeting na amoko plan ye nyina minimo na me se ho asem beba daache mfie dum yenu ni am ba fi obi anka me ho asem boni won se wo na nya si abonten kra na nipa e kan ho asem nipa wokuom nyina mmogya beba oso sika wo wie nyina aye gold ni cash nyina wonni no oda form nyambe tua oka kwasia.
All right, so that's it. Live on Accra 100.5 Citizen Show Thursday night. Here we are, and that's how it. Okay, let's go. Abdul Jeremiah. Husband is finishing the country and the wife is also joining him. They are finishing the country. Kwata. Nana Kwasiapia said she was saying Ken has cut off our hairs. We don't have hairs to be given a haircut. And that's a quote from Samno Adio. Na wahu yeka say minim baby a na mekoto fuel petrol say petrol 1 liter I am say no say 13.9 something almost 14 cedis petrol almost 14 cedis diesel I am say also diesel 15 something no 14 something so to 2 years now it's so sad and we don't know what is happening because the catcher and say this gold for oil or oil for gold whatever business they are doing no you don't know about ama yato fuel no and as a petroleum products no our cheap price now I don't know what happened. Then again, I did about Kwa. Say, you know, so pim so ba gas, toddy aduane ewo fie ya. You know, so what I've heard for that one, I don't know the price, but the what we are hearing is say you know so a price no eco. And I don't know since when I start here. So these issues about a year fuel. First, panel say a year petrol na enke a big deal pa. And it seems to say Ghana fire immune to it, and everybody is quiet. Though almost man for call various centers. Kobusa say atoto fuel muna almost a bottom to say no. Now they don't send reporters to the same places again. Sesi ano yenkubusa ye petrol bo ehunsu sanso ewo ye friends various commercial transport union for no they don't ask because now it has become something normal and we are enjoying it even if I mean they pay you. If they pay you, if you enjoy it, so come and supply too. Over to you, Joe Latte. You see, you come here, you give some small insult, then you walk away. Anyway, that's your opinion. But the fact of the matter is, increasing fuel prices now. Kwanim egusua eko. Yenim say gold for. Oil no trade no ankoyi anase koye say yeah the 40,000 a year metric tons the big good system no. The question is away fine what is happening. I mean among us shall say raise concerns, raise issues. Then we will talk about this haircut and a special edition of this financial haircut saga. Now interestingly no, Christian Council for issue a statement, or release statement, and almost statement, and almost say almost let's say Ghana for Mompire, normal and Sri Ansah, Emma Kenuforiata. Me kaya me drew on me pulse kakra, and I'm like, hey, and I BBO. Because Onipa dasani adia wuni ni esrema. You can only get what you don't have. You can only ask for what you don't have. Adia wuni eni ebusa mao. Adia wuni ena obusa. Sukom duwa obusa nsu. So at the end of the day, say omoka se yansre nyansa ma kenoforiata. What kind of communication is that? Anyway, so we'll come and deal with all those issues on board. Then the cathedral to, can you imagine, say, TMU, so we'll fear now with TMU. A board of trustees at the cathedral. No. One more makers a minty as one more catcher and say, President Nuana a ye consultant Ajay. And a president noa a pair site. Ansah na oba constitute a year board of trustees. Ye be company a project. Ye put a year board of trustees and all those people directors in place. Now omono I take decisions for the project. So ye pay a year consultant. Ye open up. Emma man for apply. They go through a friend's interviews. They look at their CVs and and based on that, near your recommendations, na board no approve near Fenipano. Cathedral for no catch say that he would most any case because before Omo institute a board of trustees no, now president. A uni contractor da. Now we're finding a location da. A honum kwa yemi dajune kakra. Yemi dajune kakra. But you know you be so let's come and deal with a nurses issues. Me ya jumama abain. I survive on the abain at the mami. Now you go so ye can about a year ye can a financial haircut asem. Ye jam crofo bi wa chiro. Obi di oni bi mpo ni akomana haircut no. So you have a year Rotational Nurses and Midwives Association. You know what didn't come happen, right? You didn't come down. Okay, so no problem. But the point is say kakra me di be kofie ni so Akoyasem. Okay, so Isaac Shum, thank you. I say Goyle Super 1360. Then you have Diesel, your 1552. Okay. Now, Benjamin, as something I can say 80 years is like a prophecy on the dry bones in Mpebe. So, I say, Kwabena, do all basic school students have chairs and tables, which the vice president is promising? One student, one tablet for SHS students. Omo beka computer, omo beka laptop. Sa laptop project say. I mean, what they any anunti na mpenifo we wa. So let me finish with them. No mo ntimi nko. Me patcho studio I say omo studio and no mo di nkomo no. Ye be kwa abontin so akodi nkomo. Ye wi a then yenua Mensa Thompson and Leslie will join us. Now Mensa Thompson will deal with ASIPA executive director. Obe dealing with issues about this haircuts and various responses a free Ministry of Finance eba. Any Christian council issues are raising, which we need to discuss it. Important. Okay, so my main George Dugbate say and Jasper Duka, and so say national president Rotational Nurses and Midwives Association, right? President. Okay, so George Dugbate. Okay, George Akwaba.
Oh.
To say, I've been also Happy New Year.
Many happy returns to everyone listening to us over here.
Sure.
Thank you very much.
Okay, all right. So Jasper, Boko there. Bibia, Finchapa. Okay, so don't worry. Okay, so why not a president? Dugbate, are you the president for the rotational?
I'm the president for Greater Accra Regional Rotational Nurses and Midwife Association.
Oh, okay.
And then,
okay.
My brother
I'm
Jasper.
the national president.
Oh, you are the national president. Yes, okay, so Jasper Joka.
Yes, sir.
Okay, Joka. And national president for Rotational Nurses and Midwives Association.
Yes, sir.
But so which means I will start with the national president.
No, that's right.
Joka, me if you follow news,
okay.
then and then you follow more various concerns and more raising about Rotational Nurses and Midwives Association.
Yeah.
So what are some of the concerns? What is the issue on the table?
Okay, thank you very much. You better say my embassy na I be sense we ada it from so say. Na for some time any rotational badge I shall see in the month of July 2022 and see Brebiano Abanasa say Abano through the Ministry of Health might be big Accra at the end of every month. It's so unfortunate.
That is salary.
That's allowance.
Momon kind of
Yes,
salary.
sir,
Okay, allowance. Okay.
But then Prempino Abese
Big Accra like how much?
About 800 and something.
Wow.
Yes, that is for the diploma. Your categories.
Okay.
Yenye entity your abandoned school, and our munso munyo mutiti your private. Enti diploma private no, and degree nurses no. Mununya umaketia every NSS for.
Okay.
Yes.
National Service Secretariat.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, and so omomu dia no, 559.
559. That's
yes,
right.
good. 559 for private nurses no
559 559 Ghana cedis and
Bosome bia
okay
now it's so unfortunate say omumu de ne say no normally omu de ne di kan ba eja ye de no enti ye sha ase enche
ada na ye unfortunate
on say nyina ne ahye djuma se pe na ebinimu de ebesha se abaje ebinimu de ebeka na say unfortunate but then ye de no ye hwe processes aye film ansa na ye de no bana as a kwano akakra in the first place ye evenya financial clearance every Ministry of Finance ansa na ba Ministry of Health ansa na Ministry of Health I issue a statement say yen sha se yen registrations until we take your details IPPD forms ne biometric ne are submitted from regional from districts regional then national Ansah na omehwe na omatua yin nti won say a process ne wa but omo dia no omo say omo fill your forms na omo submit to NSS na omo kitchen number but then ye shas ye no barely 3 months after ye shas ye and I nti say omo sikaba nti
so most started which date?
That is 1st July
2022.
Yes,
2020.
yes. Nti 4 months ago, and I nti say omudia no musika nti degree for no omusika no they should be expecting it very soon. Nti ma omu crash here fili forms na dia. But then till now, that is last year till now they've not received their money yet. Nti MIHRO kratakakra say engage the necessary authorities. No more shamaye. I disregarding the mom because
so mention the necessary authorities from where to where.
And the Minister of Finance, near Minister of NSS and so Minister of Health and so not more share so dear my
okay
because I disregard ya yet to say or man my ding nyama munkuyi but then you see I am about say be free central region ya 2 every central at the voter region buso ni bi eni ho buta won so na akopɛ dan rent ho baby or rent yen so no far from facility or ejuma into 1 rent no 2 transportation 3 de obedi sike biamba nti nka 5 na nkra ba nka eden nka ode manage ne ho ye de no so bibia nso mba eto da bia mimi angasa me nkasi me nante free efie ekwadwuma be 30 minutes
really
yes nti madam for be apostle Rick Japan ono na nyame adom
one auntie
me nante
maybe say out here is that fair question?
Oh, it's no problem.
What's it for?
Me say Ablekuma.
To nante kwa hiva?
Nante ko Oduman.
Ablekuma to Oduman.
Yes. In and out. Enti enche bia no na madam for bako. Eric Japan. Eche me bicycle bi say me mfanko rounds no kakakra. Enti no na ya me de ko adwuma de ba. But in so opportunity say ebinumu kra nya ne sa northern region obi nante we northern region na on facilities no on say incident also ewa obeti na kwanduri obena ewa kwanowa enti people are really suffering across the country enti ebesre ya judge mu so man mind but they should also consider us
okay so when was the last time mo demo letters call my authorities?
Yes enti endra and then officially the common because
so which means since July 1 year Juma you have 6 months in right?
Yes,
but and no kwana mo the letters no call so why the rush?
We are not really rushing, you know. Yeah, dikan call I make a concern. You call Ministry of Health
musia hwan
you call labor division and my assurance say at the time no your seniors no omo December batch omo rotation at the time omo clearance aba nti omo hwe omo de no so na omo ti omo e de free ho nti omo de ne free ho wi a anse na omo ba yen so yen seniors yi ewie rotation December enso ebesi ne omo de ne nyamba afina omo egusu
but no am de coin at least and get some trying for response.
Yes, exactly.
So me anopena me who say more media space more granting various interviews and that is where I took the interest. Say looking at the current economic conditions, you know. So be a entry and a 6 months there. Hey, anybody say into the mommy, but my point is say no na de more official complaint the command penny for. I think say nkesa mo twen kakra. Ana
yes, I think so. Issue is train the betwen kakra. But then the question is enye first time ni na yes seniors no mo wie yanso no ye were concerns ya ye raise and I say ye present your mom ebinim wo wa enye afina mo ya way of ebinim say yes seniors ni JC na ye degree for the NCS I dey omo nkasa di kan ya way of dada nti I disready na ye dey mom say
but some no ebinim wo ya tua omo ka
dabi
they are currently done with their 12 months of rotation and they are still in the process of getting their registration completed. Yes, so the money have not also been given to them yet. They are done with the 12 12 months of rotation.
Mm-hmm.
So we coming up, we saw it that
no. So which means they have not been paid for 12 months.
Exactly.
Is that right?
Exactly.
So their issue is pending.
It's pending. So
and your issue also is pending.
Exactly.
Wow.
So as an association, we have to speak for them as well.
So it's not in the sense of rushing the issue, but we saw this coming, that history is repeating itself. So if that is the case, then we will plead with the appropriate authorities.
But the point is, why are they not complaining? But because with 12 months you have not been paid and you are not saying anything. It's like everything is okay.
Yes, they've complained enough, and then I think.
Have they sent official complaints to the ministries, finance, Ministry of Health? Have they tried to dialogue?
I think it is this same batch that have done demonstration that
when
I think I can't recall the months, but there was some how do you call it? There was some police case also inside. So
I checked.
I think last year.
Yes.
Last year. Oh, okay.
Yes. So we are not also taking any step of any demonstration, but just to peacefully plead with the appropriate authorities to hear us, so that the same incident that keep repeating doesn't repeat itself again. Because we want to wait that this is 6 months. We are in the 7th month. So. Waiting for 6 months that we've not heard anything. Now in the 7th month, I don't know how long we should be waiting for it, because it will end up in the same 12 months again, that you end up not having it. And the situation is so hard that everybody is waiting on this money to be able to at least settle him or herself, but the money keep pending.
So how are you guys coping with life, with the current situation? Tell me, how are you guys coping?
So I think this is one of the hard questions for any rotational nurse or midwife to answer. How you are actually surviving, it can only be understood by yourself, and then sometimes because.
So give me a fair idea. Now, for the past 6 months, you have not been paid.
Yes.
You go to work. You need to pick trotro, taxi, or whatever. In and out, you need to buy food, and as we speak now, they have increased the prices of tariffs.
Yes.
Water, light. So how are you coping? How do you get money to sort yourself out? Do you have kids?
I don't have kids.
Do you have a wife?
I don't have.
You don't have a wife, so you are lucky. But you have alalame. You have alalame. So, but you have a girlfriend, that you need to support also.
To some extent.
Okay,
but I don't think that should be generalized to everybody. But when you take it on the basis of the fact that, let's say, somebody who doesn't even have a girlfriend, somebody who doesn't even have a wife, yes, to live alone, and then you at this age you can't keep on requesting for certain things from your parents again. You have to learn to do few things, and then. Yes, so with this one, that you are also trusting and hoping that this man will be coming, so that you'll be tipping small. You also have, some of us, we have a lot of siblings out there. It is not our fault, or it's not the fault of anyone. But to the extent that they have realized that this is my brother who is in the nursing profession, to some extent, something small is coming. And they've also heard that allowance is coming. Yes, so. We sometimes call our parents for money continuously, and then it's becoming a problem.
Have you been doing it?
Yes. You call relatives now. It gets to a point whereby nobody seems to, pick your calls again, because, the situation is hard in the village there. And then aside that also, you are also keeping on with the pressure in Accra over here. For instance, I stay at Pantayona, Bobie Road. And then coming to work at Pentecost Hospital, Medina Estate. That's a very far journey. I have to ride bicycle. At first we have to divide the movement, so that if you have money to come, then you have to walk pathway and then take the car and continue. But now I come with bicycle. This is a really challenging situation. Riding for about 1 hour journey.
You have a bicycle of your own.
Coming to work with it. So
where do you stay?
I stay at Pantayona on Bobie Road.
And where do you work?
I work at Pentecost Hospital, Medina Estate.
Okay, so from your place of abode to your workplace is how many minutes?
When I'm riding, I ride for like 1 hour journey.
Wow.
Yeah, that's not a joke. And you are coming to work, and it's not like you are coming to sit in an office and work, but you are actually going to be doing up and down, in and out. So this is energy consuming, and you need a level of sound mind to be able to do this, I believe. So I think when we are crying that we don't get the little smile that will be put on our face because of the work we are doing, I think our voice should be heard. And
gentlemen, we are sending me a message. Probably a national president beat me up. I bet Braco says Ghanaians are so timid. You have not been paid for 6 and 12 months, and yet you are in there pleading. What sort of people are we? But no, national president. I mean, Obi Mama said 6 months, and you 12 months. You
see, it's the truth. He's really saying the truth. You see, to be here,
that you guys are timid.
You see, there is not like we are timid, but it's the system. I was talking to the honorable man that it's the system that has made it like that. It is not like we are timid. No, where I was raised and where I was brought up and where I was trained, we cannot be timid. I was trained at the military hospital lesson training. We cannot be timid. I grew up in a military environment. We cannot be timid. But just that the system, to be here, we have to endure a lot of shocks and pressure from people that we have to be here as we speak. And so we are well guided. We are well guided not to, fall out of track. As we speak, even if we rush, what can we do? Okay, we'll go to the minister, go and talk. Okay, we've heard you.
There is nothing much to do.
We'll go and hit the street, do demonstration. They only, okay, it's in the pipeline. They only reassure us. So the only thing we can do now is to.
So which means even you guys, I mean, coming in here, no, it won't do anything.
You see, it is to voice out to them. We are their younger ones. We are their younger ones, and they should consider us. People are really suffering nationwide. When I show them the number of messages I have from people across the country, northern region, western, all over, people are really struggling.
Okay, so tell me, nature of work as rotational nurses, no, and NSA. Tell me.
Okay, so the rotational nurses, you rotate every aspect of the health profession. Say, obejuma OPD, obejuma or special clinics. If you are now called psychiatric.
So, give us a fair idea. Say, what kind of job and I'm executing?
Oh no, we bia as a nurse ni bia.
Really?
Yes.
More panier.
Bibia.
More prescribe a drug.
We don't prescribe. We administer medication.
You administer medication.
Yes.
And here, what do you do?
You will not be in your right frame of mind. I'm telling you.
To work. I mean,
sometimes people come to, and our ladies are really suffering. Ladies, because these people have left. They have been thrown from their various homes to different regions, and they are there, no help. And when they come to work hungry, then they have to just be there. Someday you mention their name, then they'll be like, yes, macho then. The mind is not there. People are suffering. So
really?
I don't know whether you have been hungry before.
Me?
If you have been hungry before,
sorry?
It's so touching. People are suffering. I'm telling you. People are really, it's not like we are timid, but it's the system. Be aggressive. What can your aggressiveness end? We can only plead their cause, like they should hear us. The Ministry of Finance, the Ministry of Health cannot do anything without if the Ministry of Finance has not released a financial clearance for us. We will plead with the Ministry of Finance to please release financial clearance for us to start something. At least out of the 7 months, if they should even pay us 3 out of 7, we know that there is hope for the future. But here's the case, nothing. And what is even shocking everybody, we've not even our names have been taken or requested for anything. And what is process film Ansah na we
almost process na simple. So which means you can't
that clearance in buy
and it's likely said the 12 months experience more call.
That is a fear because your seniors are 1 year not even a CD or a coin has been given. I feel no more shares here. I've been told yesterday, say 50% I feel on form say we and see Muguswa Moye other take ups. So we are pleading. We don't want history to keep repeating. This has been a terrain. So until the Biaubis Obibis say, oh yeah, then also rotationers. Rotationers, why how many months? Also 6 months. Also more than 6 months pay. because see umon say e idea normal.
Yes, I mean it is accepted of everyone that this is the situation we are facing. So it's like there is no need crying, there's no need trying to share your grievances. And we have seen this coming.
No, do before complaining.
Yes. So we have seen this coming. I mean, it's so sorrowful. I mean, when you look at the situation, asking somebody that how do you cope in this rotation, I mean, it's a question that seems to be like a question nobody will be able to answer. Exactly. Because I don't know how I cope, but at the end of the day, when you wake up, you keep on with the move, and you have a lot of tight schedules to fulfill. From here, some of us will have to go back to work, and then I mean, it's a lot of stress. It's a lot of stress.
All right, brother, we are sending me a message. You say my brother-in-law has been posted from Ashanti region to Salaga about 11 months now to teach, and yet he has not been paid a dime, a kobo, and teachers no issues no air pending. We are trying to get them, but members are very, very common. So do what they tell me during the day. Like, are you able to take like 3 square meals?
Oh, I just told you that when you look at it,
once or twice or thrice.
You can't have a regular trend for it that okay, I've been taking 2 square meal or 1. I mean, what is available, that is what you can continue with the move. What is available. So when it's
sometimes you take like 1 in a day.
Exactly. So you have to force it and make it look like, I mean, you are fast, and you can also move out and carry that kind of facial expression that, I mean, I've not eaten and all those stuff. Yes. So I mean, it's difficult to afford 2 square meal. To even talk about 3 square meal is a struggle. So I mean, it's a struggle. But I mean, my dad have been trying his best, but that is not the case for everybody.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
My dad have been trying his best.
My be quick. Orafin Pana teachers network. Penny ewa so mamene of Afrimpon any and come mra. Eja madwe.
Yeah, papa me jo so na Bobie.
Boko de.
Boko na unso e.
Nyamia dum ya tenkwamu de na ya pem soko. Okay, yeah. So na Afrimpon na ya teachers network most raise concerns about yesikasem promotions and other ya de ba asema.
But our city and chetty for you. And it be more, how you know, say, yes, if I for bomb Mohammed, a bass we are family by a young we pay. You were Muhammad time, President Muhammad time, and all the 3 months pay policy be buy. Now they buy no more movie college 2013, 2012, no, Sata a static fee almost. Until be moody, a bayanu tia about homo dear Trebi. Bebre no aso na akam baba ni issue memo anasa letter o kire say what you be bia areas awie to see am look at the tickets 5 for a program into from what na our money temi e be there 10 months e be so there 11 months e be there 8 months our money now genuine reason said they were underpaid or the government owed them arrears or do mo car so tua on to e bia concline e bia ko auditing due by another issue. I can't be a messiah home. I had teacher for any GS company for me. I tried and say, you must have promotion with him Kobe. Well, we have school degree, acquire for that studies to us work at home, acquire to us work at home. Such as the Toba via Obenya Kakra, I can a Sa for Romadom letters are called. GS a more letter say okay you have been promoted to be a principal superintendent and assistant director 2 and also a musica a meka ho letter nikura no sa for 3 years ni a wo hu de oye no ho ade ba ko sa ha adwene ye pa ye pa ni fo yesro mo no say na ya no abin mu no say bisu ha on ba adwene mu 10 years and 5 years every 4 years they can promotion every 17 every Sabre, South only been promotion that.
I didn't ya.
And no, yen Tiasiano. And no, yen Tiasiano. The best 3 union way, so more chairman unions for fatwomen, and now my bomb more day. It is in now bomb more damn to Mukakra. I do my phone, a more a horse seminal. A bass, I don't know. obi wa yɛ dena kɔto senior superintendent 1 yɛ dena to scale or controller scanner bɛka ho all right but oni letter krataa di adanse sɛ wo da saa promotion we they say auditor bi ba sukuu mu o no obi sa wo sɛ
na nipa ni krataa why na communicating man sɛ promotion we ni de wato so
mo da wase ne kasa sisi ade akɔ wie ne sɛ yɛde information in na almost digital na the core education office na almost the core original na almost send the Excel data through email or through whatever means a bedroom GS quarters na almost why effective payment na dey amount omo ye na amount we are o discount that can wo odidi ba klata e kire say wo wana de koto ho no woni wo anu yi mpanifo na ya de na ma ode komo ye ma no mo do klata so amount say you have been given promotion to this is your letter and your money has been paid na ka ho ato sisi asa afọ de brenu our system ni mu a say ne head bi sa na say wo da principal of attendant o letter way wo so jira wa na ni okay mam letter we ni bi dia but okay data say ya ma no but we ni letter ntino o ka bi dia enye ye e wo ho
me pass you nana frempon e dey ba start no
no ni afem no and GS administration
but more try some be engage GS
your penny for be actual letters and I come almost say omoye ya di bia come unions no I show monsem no
but it seems as a complaints ne ya doso what are you guys doing what is the options more share because I didn't acquire kasa keke looking at media they working here also from 2017
there are several 3 teacher unions need to use now there's a home to cry if I got to after the welfare matters here you'll be brain no your employer no obu ni guso e bi kura ne say yati nipa laptop sika habai so ma professional allowance 1,002 or the amount say fa ko ye federal courses bia na fa upgrade knowledge na nya nim dia for kaka ho na onim dia na ho na bia awe na ache nya for ka ho and about okay me blame laptop on cost selling also the 550 what is ikano barely 2 years down the line the lot of some diabano extra saying the MIA never the atom doors and see general outcry teachers yenya boafo biana wakabia maye teacher na ka chiase na kofa lawyer akojina court okobienu miensa wawu awie ultimate azu bie
but ohia court no kwa na ye more option
ina say ebi be through recourse of petition adesre bani for mo hema ye o kata ire anim kata say ekọ say koduru ana secretary no oje ye no odba pani no ofama no o want that be mu unyina hobi unyina bekum na unyina ndifa ndi ya sam de ye say bia ya nya wi ye to bi fa ewie mu eni mframa mu eni bia pani for beti bia hu say how be say
no but this is the situation that they are even refusing some better more voice after more engage you or more face-to-face more face-to-face engagements
face-to-face the reps need be more bank na other part in there ebi more team champagne for ni bi na me wo asantin potem ha die e be ka say bi ne yesua de enyim dia mo na mo kurisa go krata
na omo koba omo sesai
omukoba obase ne mpanifo na sia obso mbetu ho na mo omo ya ka se kirewa ebetu abe afi na atwam na akoda ndi ye wa hawo ndi ji se mu ka bi buaye
ndi mo ye dey survive
and wa bi say you and wa bi say na ahomte se me kwa de ahomte ade te die e die na metimajai me bompa se metimajai me fa me pani bia mo fa bia obafie na nsen 37 years of teaching, the gratuity and the pension salary, 36,000. 36,000. I'm saying, said my man, yeah, it may win them because Yalebon will ultimately survival. Asana, petty.
But I said, what I see a teacher for a country hours.
And then I said, you didn't what you would say, go talk.
But nana do catch him say teacher Juma yem fine yes cat say Kwame despite no.
No odika.
So which means you guys should accept it like that and let's move on.
Ma ano ne asem no nti me say me fa me ho adwene pa.
Say uja adwuma na we.
Me fa me ho adwene say me de tuma ni aka ba dia e be boa me. Na me ho say dia other place bi be boa me a ba dia akọ. Na say ja ba ma dwuma e Vietnam. Me colleague bi o Vietnam teacher ni o fili Ghana akọ ye. He earns $3,000 over there. He's making back also Kuwait also earning about 900 Kuwait dinar or convertible almost 27,000 plus. Sine fa me ho adwene.
What a time no akọ Vietnam.
Yenya nko ye die. Na say ye pray dey be boa yen sisi na boa minianum
But sikai bi ma na dia your passport mpo.
No ni asem no. Pray take it to America, pray take it. No ko bisa ya Vietnam to mejina kwa mbe mprenu. And 19,000 ko ba no a poor teacher. Are hosem.
They say I can pray take it can na ukọ.
Pray take it 19,000 sisi me passport ni bi ya adwuma my criminal report nyina me kwa masters mienu kwa degree mienu be say my TESOL my advanced English certificate make me call pray take it inti me hia nyina maka kroma because na ye jo fa my blabo laptop your team last 2 years 2021 22 atwam 23 so ye wura mu ma for me de my ebi so adom de ne nyina anye asa na ya promotion my child there for 14 years promotion quite a problem what your degree new year you do but to scale crown you feel yeah how can see am at
na my crown no boame na men information laptops no obi anya ne de
obebre no anya mo de teacher mo primary school kwa de o ma say mo bo teachers say o say 280,000 about quarter crown.
Oh.
Primary schools does say JHS schools.
You don't mean it.
Primary schools does say
but omutisika no. But the beans and can omo de be permanent.
No sankai. Richard Nigina menche o sankai the primary schools sankai. The sankai. Bebre ubi sankai kura no a headquarters no primary school for teacher bebre no does say JHS secondary school omo sankai.
But Vice President so say abeche a tablet ama SHS for.
We nyina misplaced priority. E se sha ya mo aye ho. Textbooks kura ye curriculum new curriculum. New curriculum in je se sa adetrei the yesu ho ma ye nya ko ye nya. Ye se bro tablet begum tablet ye bedin asai. School am tremu ha de akola ni mouse no computer naka wodi ka foto ma akoma fa ble school na primary bi anya laptop akọ e fa nchra de nkola no ye mo aduane di ye fa mo school fees free no ene ye se be che bibi si amomo aka ye saka be che by misplaced priority. Sana me da wasu
na just Vietnam no de e be ba so ken.
Oh nana be ka Ghana fo akogu ho a omo making living
twitwa pictures bro.
Nana me nim say war torn countries have Vietnam kwa no betima ye da omo ni gold Ghana ni entama dollar no cost 15 cedis no convert 3,000 ba na no yere tra de o konfon on yere aduma konfon no chi the nurse in charge abefa ne ko na yere ne earn somewhere around $1,500 beginning teacher $1,500 o tra de o ha ubetima 5 schools English in kwa and afa na ko cha at the Taba cross now cross and what about mic where radio where speaker and one no they only want to get the English language as basis for their life. Now mama dollars now they are back.
What done a bugger?
Ghana called 7 years ni fear no one see Ghana had enough for 16 years or the radio had name morning now. Why you say time? The another opportunity maybe for a few years teacher for no more means on better to Canada. When I now could do baby be I am cabrofu biano. You
the nothing point. And teacher said what children for quite so monko or munja or mine honko.
Africa here Seychelles Ghana for Beko Pio almost $1,005. What if none of them dollar here a tip back from ACDC and then South Bank of Ghana as I could have 11 or 12 cities. And this will be any $1,000. Invariably, no, only 12,000. The teacher need Ben what Ghana as you swap. What's that there for 10 years or 12,000? The highest salary earner in GS 4,100 out of hostel. This is our 10 kind. That's how hard dying. Next to down 2.5 for near do 3 advance. What we are going to what to buy.
What do you know?
And I said it.
Enough from Papa.
No, I don't know.
Oh, my media, any brass, yada. Hey, you're out to my pie. Anyway, all right. So let's see how it goes. Sir, I think I'm on the Yakwa command penning for right. Okay, so you shall response from the but then we can take it from there. All right, thank you so much. Remember back to the studio. So, what is the next option? What do you do now?
Okay, so I think
I think you heard your counterparts, the teachers. They are facing similar challenges and difficulties. Even they are talking about promotions are not coming, and it has taken like the government is owing some of them 8 months, 10 months, 11 months, and you are doing 6. So at least we are juniors, we are seniors, but it seems like it's the same issue.
It's really sad. I mean, I don't know.
Chairman, so money letter and can say that Ben and Mama response.
Okay, in the letter and the call, I think first of all, you follow on Greater Original Chairperson for GRNMA. And the cover home we no afraid in HR department. Into on your mokasai. And the one my assurance say omudi hujuma na omashwe am follow up and so na Minister of Finance ashe now I release financial clearance ediama send be able to me ashas in processes and for the meantime you better hold on to the omukan no they be jomwedi.
But so, mama stipulated time.
No, the any soon. Soon
so, can be the next 1 year. So can
we asked how soon, but they couldn't give us a specific time frame. But then you be give almost some time frame. Me I get it back to them as to how far, because as we speak, there are a lot of things that that people are. Myself. You were asking how he survived. You know myself, yes, work with Juma. Now, won't do the answer now, because there is no, you have to manage. You go at the time, egg was 150 pesos. And to could be a million Juma, a Bobie 11, 12, no matter egg back, and Kosiani Moku.
Really?
Otobakua. Udivia, Sajin and Nimuko, no Ajin Kama, send me man moons your facilitating so much chance you. Weekly and when they want to
show their town
show now could be and see the more best echo end of the year no because no bad 2.5 about 2 cities 2.5 about 3 cinema one back
yeah no
Indian one oh about 2 cities no go to sana they cut 2.5 me say intimido 2.5 cities and I'm going to go and say why go say my jadi indibio. Because we told 2 5 cities.
Okay, so Udi are not around 11.
11. And see, at this, I remember one question upon 2.
And so now I could pay baby.
And so now I could pay baby. Heavy. And see, be a woman, and I say, we are no, and I say, 12 more, 1 more, and you can keep it. And we didn't
can't meet me say 3, 4.
Can't get
I will need brepa.
When it brains so dear, we see can casa.
Okay, so Ada when you be brace and them will be some who meet me at the kenke. Will meet me at how many balls?
Last time I did kenke, no. Highest I did that was secondary school. We did 10 balls. 10? 10 balls. I think Mr. T record Odogono senior high.
Oh, Jaisa.
Oh, yes.
Jaisa.
Who for Odogono make a
10 balls.
10 balls.
Kenke.
At a sport. And look at 15. na dining ebinom ba mo nya aduane na me 5 ema omo
be man is say wo bre akwa bre
yes ni abako di 20
munya isa
oh yes
stop that
senior abako di 20 that was in the year 2014 that was unbeaten record in 2015
okay enti wo bi enti say ya ni praba say ba just say dokro kra 2D2 kra
me waleji
You don't mean it.
We are really struggling. Yeah, but yeah, juniors and old school, Omalawa, nursing trainees. Yes, a man why I didn't so.
Alawanema,
Nabi.
For how long now?
Oh, for almost a year. I'll be just sending a message. You know, a man
right now. We send you a message.
Yes. Government now can say we cancel alawa. And see, yeah, that better not see. We will really appreciate that effort. So man cancel. Name mum, you say you best room. Now I'm release alawa
anyway.
Because
all right, gentlemen, it seems like this issue is sad, but then you have the funny side of the whole matter. I wish, but so we catch us say Ghana. Since here we don't have money, and if we don't take care from next month going a bind me to our workers car, Obajedi.
You see, it is possible. You know, the funny part is that we stated in our letter, we are pleading with the ministry, say Ministry of Health. So, among Ansah say and release clearance form because we are nurse now. When you want we rotation, ebia upese ufeda or baby, and I say we took and go to this or other countries. Untiminko because in clear. I get me. And the best say, Oma who deal on with the send of the clearance forms. And the best say, Omun releases have clearance forms. So, Senebea, yen seniors no. A bet me a clear mona, a binum bet me a feather. Because at this time, I must say, your baby, a motifi, and our facilities, there's no enough space. Vacancies, I want me a posty or more motifi. As we have several badges who are in the house, unposted. And the yes, we have a journey, you know, it's really worrying. And the best say, they should sell the clearance forms. Senebea, a binubeti me uncle feather, give them somewhere, you know.
Remember, my man was in Franco Monencia. Dubate, thanks so much for joining us in the studios. Mini Ajuka, Yadasibe, young share, Modia Common, we almost say, or Mobemamo response. So, response beyond Bemamuno. Mama, yes, we have something to say that we can take.
There is this also that's having the issue. The degree people, they give them the hope from the beginning that they are going to have their money. Yes, their money. They told them that the money is ready. They've started filling the forms, and unfortunately,
since when?
For just as the honorable has said, like 3 months.
3 months.
So now the latest information they have with them is that the system is having a problem, so they can't continue with the processing again. So they're having problem with the system, so they cannot continue with getting their money for now, and they don't know how soon that is going to be. And one of the things we will appreciate is the fact that we receive information that okay, we don't there is problem with the system, and by so and so date we are going to rectify that so that you will get what you need. I mean, to some extent, even if you have money in your pocket, you will not be hungry compared to if you don't have money in your pocket. Yes,
at least when you have something in your pocket, then which means you have some hope.
You have some hope.
So which means Tommy system keeps on synchronizing with the money.
Yes,
but when you don't have anything in the
so if you give us a date that okay, by the close of so and so you are going to get your money, or you are going to start the process, I think with that, when you are hungry, you will still be encouraging yourself that there is hope for me tomorrow.
All right, thank you. Response via Mama Yenti Wasem. All right, thank you
very much.
Okay, so quick question. Seraphine Dove say Onamu Dubati Ochiao. Yeah, Seraphine Dove say she is watching you.
Thank you very much.
All right. Dela Cosmos says, Bobie, please can you explain the teacher's program for me? Pacho, yeah, that one say. Teacher Nini say Sabra Boya Dia Osho Ahuna Otopai. That is what it is. Rapsin Jesus commander remind them of the Alawa situation when they were dancing to MPP promises against NDC's advice. Okay, so of a case here, Boache can says nurse for MPP branch for no. Okay, Menzi says if persuasion fails. Okay, so let me leave this one. Robson J says, don't mind them. They should remember 2016 when they were voting against NDC. But this kind of issues anyway. Seth says, judging from their voices, they are timorous and afraid that they will lose their jobs. Okay, Fifi Akins says, Commander, boiled egg is now 3 Ghana cedis. Wow. Okay, Henry Chinsky says, yes, Kwabena. Yeah, to a Yokosia and 3 cedis saying. Belinda Agbalenyo says, we are just crying to get our money. Diploma and degree nurses. That is all we want, please. A common demand. Jennifer Boachi says, the guys in the studios are not angry and hungry enough. Okay. Now we have a Gideon says, Akufo-Addo tested Ghanaians and no. Akufo-Addo have tested Ghanaians and know that they can't bite. Soon, most Ghanaian workers will have their fair share of the nonsense going on unless their citizens go on the streets and demonstrate against the corruption and mismanagement of the economy. But they have been doing it. The point is, Nipano on tie. Okay, so now Lamle Odate Lamte is asking how much is the ticket to Vietnam, or say 19,000. Okay, so Rapson says, teachers, do you remember when you were voting? This is just the beginning. Okay, let's leave. Now, of our case, John Mahama regime teachers no extra 3 years and your mama more 3 months salary. Okay, your own opinion. No. Now, Neil Ante says, what at all can they force to do? Nothing. I mean, there is nothing they can do, and it's so unfortunate. The system is dead. Michael Quay says, this is really bad. All right, so another one from Jennifer Boachi says 30% increment in wages. It's called to 30% increment in electricity tariffs. Okay, then you have the National Rotation Nurses and Midwives Association follow your show and almost send a message. I say this is not about employment. This is about national service, which every Ghanaian is mandatory to do after any tertiary education, hence mandated to receive some allowance. That is all they are trying to communicate to the government. That's all. Now, David Agbanyaga says, great show. Thank you so much. Neil Ante says they are behaving like they are asking for a favor from the government. It is your right, guys. Ghanaian workers, please stop begging and demand for your pound of flesh. Okay, so this one is coming from Neil Ante, and more messages. John says, Accra FM, be our voice and make sure our voices are heard. Famous says that is I left teaching to UK and I'm now enjoying good salary. Okay. Fabiano Sapte says, so there is no day we will hear good news from this Akufo-Addo government, and that is the situation. Now I'm home for almost a jai teaching, and Mensa Thompson is in the house, executive director Edma Asepa, and Mensa Afinchapa Emsa Fiyenshia. You see, I was saw them 31st night. Yeah. Ma sum count for nan come said them and then come share so no dey e buy free do me no ho kono no come share no dey da me see o so for no o so for hiro de sack no e chire what the form sorry we dey nyame nom ye na yenke yesi enhia baako anyway, but we were too we have issues we deal because yes, I know Asepa is fighting for a month for a year, so definitely these issues about financial haircuts are a serious issue. But then teacher and when you have a teacher who cram masters and all bomb pie say obey free Ghana and will to have any will to for someone qua Monshoa Huna Motobe Pai into Monko. Then you have these young ones sitting here. If you are 12 months, 8 months, 6 months, the monies are not coming. it's a share comments about say which means you're more frustrated, and these are some of the situations. Then we are dealing with fuel increment. Now in better I say in your GPRTU for we will ask them some few questions because there are drivers agitations also here and there. But this it seems like the whole picture looks gloomy.
Kwabena me da say my mencha with you for na me ma with you for nyina official pa in 2023. This is my first time on radio in 2023.
Really?
Yes. 2023 on radio and on TV.
Inshallah.
This is my first time.
Inshallah. Inshallah.
I've been out for a while.
My so
my mama be a official pa. Na mencha a chief nyina. Kwabena and yet teacher for penal problem. In fact, the migration in the health sector. Doctors, any nurses are moving out of the country is no joke.
Really?
Nurses and doctors. Teacher for no because I'm privy to the number of nurses who are living in the country on a daily basis. So, doctors and nurses, medical professionals, they are living in the country. They are getting bigger and better opportunities elsewhere. Kwabena, what is happening in the mismanagement of the economy? And it's, I mean, métier issues are maboboswa. Kwabena, because this year is going to be the most difficult year for Ghanaians. It's going to be a very, Kwabena, it's going to be a very difficult year. And I'm not even exaggerating. There's no way we are getting an IMF program.
Really?
We are not getting an IMF program.
No, that's a
no, Kwabena, is it? Kwabena, empire. Kwabena,
like this kind of
yes.
news.
Nyankopon ye bibia. Enye bibia na empire, Kwabena. Enye bibia na empire. Oko IMF no. Eco science staff, what is almost science staff level agreement and no mobility. One of the conditions of the staff level agreement, the one I to say, your debt restructuring to move your debt back to sustainable level. And IMF say, okay, so your debt restructuring there, as part of the debt restructuring, you need to achieve at least 80% acceptability rate of your creditors. Naturally say, your debt restructuring now. Or creditors now will do a system. At least 80% of your creditors must accept your debt restructuring. It's in the staff level agreement. Kwabena, so what the individual bondholders for no? They are buying a court.
But don't found.
Obian son sign. No, you see, and yes, also almost you say Obian sign here. You see, first, no, not almost created the impression, say, by force, one media or bond, no, I say, won't me find your way. And I had stretched and call for Mamma Kofo, who is the Debbie. Bond na Mukutano, a contract now, and I buy a sign. I buy the oka. I didn't just buy the oka, pepano, bond in the Kutan, and a chest I buy the oka. Okay. I buy, so would the maker, not a won't mean to ya. Kwabena, oh, framing out, and I sit near, and I say, oh, Medoka say. But I can't mean to ya. But me himself also won't hear sika when you for the Christmas. And you okay, he now bet my concessions, mammy. Now bondholders not catch us okay. You bet my concession waha, I concession. But how dear, you best don't have a now work what Nancy, then you work around it. There be oh, the Obika. No, for credit say, hey, what can I do? You can feel me to me to antimate so, hey, one best sign of Sikanashi. And that was the initial communication. And your church and Kofu said, Debbie, Mama Kofu in Bulumo. Debt restructuring, no. More bondholders, no. More Namukutesikan, Mumusika, and Akuta bond. Bond in Ekutano, a very powerful instrument. Media buying a cocord, as you are buying, no. Tati are buying a japadie. Enti sa abandoned properties buildings say see her buying Ansah, people can take government to court and take and attach those properties.
I see.
Yes. People can take the government to court. And what guy, one of the country Venezuela, almost default on bond. No, the company be seize on ship or Ghana. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, it's the same.
Yes, court, na court, ma judgment. What court? Okay, I bind the maker. And then I just bind the can be bond in the bind the maker. And these individual bondholders now, market come more boom no court. No, is a huge thing. Once they get a judgment, then I bind. The judgment will say then we look for.
But looking at the current situation with our judicial system and with the government, kwana, do you think so? It's a judgment.
Now, can I say bond no? Can I say me no pen to be? A judge for what to be?
A joke kusu kaubi.
A judge for no kamna.
A joke ezo kaubi.
A judge for no sort of bond ni what? Womuzu kuta bond ni. What is in the Christian Council for Issue statement?
Yes.
Our solid collection of the cost to bond, you know.
Hey, Sanga,
and sorry, Nisika collection Sunday, column. I finished soon, you know.
Ganyan. And you know, I'm saying, if we are to move one person, I'm money Ansah. We're giving. Oh, yeah, Jimmy.
A day we it's a huge issue that is coming up. One day cannot discuss this issue. But the most important thing is say, the economy, we understand. And they say, you know, you cannot achieve the 80% acceptability rate for your creditors, for your debt exchange program. So that means that, Governor, the IMF at the next board meeting cannot approve a program for you. So we are not getting the IMF money. At least so far, that is what the signs are pointing out to say IMF say can ma. Kwabena say IMF say can ma there any hope be on a buy war. Hope be any hope you. Because Kwabena two things pen buy need so. The IMF program which was going to give us about 3 billion na enokrano we were expecting the first tranche which was about the IMF were going to give about $800 million for the first tranche this year. The next idea back and so buying that so a cocoa syndicated loan.
Okay.
I know about always in the last quarter. Now I know I buy any social exchange rate now sick across to the end of the year. Now a boy in the first quarter.
Yeah.
Come now I feel cocoa syndicated loans were
Emma.
If we don't take care to this year there will be no cocoa syndicated loan. Come now, two things. A buy and declare an external debt default. Not just what just okay about a man or more bobo said that I call more. What terms won't mean to ya?
Why you
won't mean to ya? Into what market need you cocoa syndicated loan? A consortium of financial boom de mayo. Who compare all the people who lend to those who lend to you say and now when we declare a debt. Okay. So what it means is that your risk now becomes very high. Once you declare debt default, your risk becomes high. What you say? Anybody who is lending to you knows say there's a high possibility say that's a risk. Once your risk becomes high, two things are going to happen. Either say premium and I say interest rate on the amount will be so high and it will be unattractive to take that money. To say in commercial banks or Ghana, they are lending at 42%. Come now, Kojibo say at 42%. At the end of the day, Kojibo say at 42%. What are you going to do with that money? You see, so what it means is some interest on the account because once the risk is high, the premium becomes very high. The interest becomes very, very high because they calculate the interest based on the risk.
I see.
So once the risk is high, that you may not be able to, you may not be attracted to take that money. Or the people will say, okay, you cried. When we assess your risk, you've declared an external debt default and a domestic debt default. So it means that your economy we can't give you in because there's a likelihood that you can't pay. So this year we can't give you that money. So two things are going to happen. Either they will give us a high interest rate, which will be very unattractive to take the money, or they won't give us the money at all. In any which ways, we are in trouble. Kwabena, Safi, yenya IMF program no Cocoa syndicated loan. Ghana, no, the country is gone forever. The economy is gone.
Yes, sir. We're a prophet of doom.
Kwabena, that is not even the worst part of it. I mean, can't worse in you. This is the thing I can tell. Now let's come to the most critical issues. In 2015.
So this financial haircut no lead to the IMF no
program.
Yeah, critical. These issues about the syndicated cocoa loans critical.
Critical, but you see there are other even more critical issues.
Okay, so tell me.
Number one, Kwabena Unim say in 2015, Ghana yako Eurobond eco raise about 750 million.
750
million 2015 under the NDC administration.
Okay.
So that time we were under IMF program. And when you under, because we're under an IMF program, no, now obia through say obelendi, because once you are in that position, you know, there were credibility issues and all that. And you know, the World Bank had to come in and issue a guarantee. The World Bank guarantee. A chair say World Bank be jinama say okay, mo de mo fast kan ma wo mo. So mo intimi into aye betua.
Okay.
So the World Bank gave us a guarantee so that we can access that money. Kwabena, Abai declared debt with default. They default on the payment of that money. As part of the external debt restructuring. And once they've defaulted, it's part of the external debt restructuring. And then so World Bank for a guarantee my into one boy Bosiano are now at the World Bank. They are taking the World Bank to go and collect the money because World Bank guarantee my say into one World Bank that's what just can free World Bank or pay. The World Bank has no option than to come back to Ghana Bank and say, okay, they've triggered the guarantee, so and we've paid them, so you need to pay up that money to us. Also, first kind of way. Untimintia. When Timintia, Kwabena, and only a friend multilateral debt default. Say, no, so debt restructuring a bilateral debt default. Bilateral debt, a countries, any private individuals, not that companies, you find bilateral debt. Multilateral debt, and they say multilateral companies here, entities here, World Bank, the IMF. One money entities are or maybe say you've defaulted on your bilateral debt. The moment you default on your multilateral debt, Ansah, and look at it, it's like a default on your multilateral debt, the impact is like 10 times a default on your bilateral debt. As for the debt suspension, your friend is saying, debt forgiveness. We are now to me solving no. No problem. I'm on solve here. What did the county mean to? So how does he come in and vouch for you? Said here in 2015, Yakoji Sika 750 Eurobond. World Bank be jine muma I say mo de mo farmer o Satam nanka the World Bank for car. And you default to World Bank. Ka World Bank for be jine mama I say mo first kan mo.
O ko bosia wo yire ho wasi abeye akagina mo ama o. O be afia no abewi ya wasi. Say ya yeka. O ko bosia wo yire ho. And wasi esu obedi adansi ama so obetua. ɛna ɔyere sɛ ma so antua media mehawo then I know as you invite you $100 da wa afa ayeka
Enti Kwabena, that is not even the worst part.
Another worst part be this is scary.
Kwabena, say IPPs no so. IPPs not produce power they are buying chomoka. And the IPPs no so all the power purchase agreements you know sign they all came with guarantees. Because
since when? What time duration are buying into the IPP?
A common bro $1 billion. $1 billion. A car buying the IPPs.
But do you have any idea why are buying into Omoka? Is it that we don't have the money or what?
I don't know. Because ECG collect the bills. Come you tell me in your bills.
Yes. Yes,
ECG did you musika? Mikoto prepaid that. ECG phone just can answer or my. So why is ECG collecting these monies? And the IPPs who are producing the power and giving it to Gridco are not being paid. And giving them to Gridco and ECG are not being paid. What I say? And see, almost no, they came with a guarantee because once they are coming in to produce a power in the market, they need a guarantee. Say, okay, me produce power in the market, I buy a bit Jamaica, so I buy in Jamaica, so I can fall on that guarantee. It's almost a guarantee. The IPPs are also now threatening to trigger those guarantees. Or trigger guarantee, the banks will pay the IPPs and then I don't buy Ghana buying. Into Kwabena, we are getting to the point where say no.
People
are going to start going after the state assets. By the third, fourth quarter of this year, you start seeing those things.
But in America for us, I say be a duomo can to a church yako. Can be also a body a card, but that World Bank for sale. You have a swing now. You also be from World Bank. Michelle, Papa World Bank won't to him quite. Anyway, that's another side of the issue. But
Kwabena, these are very, very serious issues.
Yeah.
These are very, very serious issues.
Yeah.
And Kwabena, they borders on the soul of this country. Kwabena, a very renowned politician said something. Or say in an election, people think that the most important thing in an election is the economy. But that is not the case. That is not true. Kwabena, the most important thing in any election is the battle for the soul of the country.
But that is the economy.
Kwabena, that's what I'm saying. But
that is the economy.
Kwabena, this is very deep. It's very deeper than the economy.
Okay, so break it down.
Kwabena, you see, or say the people think that the most important thing is in an election is the economy. But the most important thing in an election is the battle for the soul of this country, of the country. Kwabena, the soul of this country is in wrong hands. Kwabena, today Ghanaians are weeping. Ghanaians have become orphans because we've handed the soul of this country in very wrong hands. People are walking around empty because the soul in them is gone. The soul in them is gone. And obi namo uti now the move epim will be put off on penwa no. Oh, sorry, Bill.
You want to form so done who was womb.
And these are very, very serious issues. And the mistakes that we've done, Kwabena, we need to correct that mistakes. Kwabena, if we don't correct these mistakes, the next generation will not forgive us. The future, the young people of this country will never forgive us. Because it is more like we've sold this country into some some abyss.
But Mensa, what's here kind of reata? And I say metie no. Now they are telling people say they are voluntary. They are not going to force people. Then today I heard the finance ministry saying say, oh, initially no, nanka say omone individual bondholders no, enya I mean nkitahudie na omo pacho yene na omo anye. Omo baba be ye bibi so they will see how they will go about it. Now the Christian Council is telling them say 31st no omo fan tonchen no omo nkoswa enye consultations na Ansah. Is there any way we can deal with this issue? At the end of the day, omo we sikano, omo di sikano, we need to do something to salvage the situation.
Kwabena, the most important thing in an exercise like a debt exchange program or restructuring that they are trying to do, credibility and trust. Kwabena,
between who and who?
The credibility of the person engaging in the debt exchange program and the trust the citizens have for the person.
So you are talking about Kenoforiata. Yes.
That's what I'm. So credibility and trust. One, Kenoforiata is the last person anybody has any sort of reverence or sort of credibility for.
Why?
He doesn't have credibility.
Oh, yeah, come for.
Come Kenoforiata and Natana Bas name. Edi akoshe amena yimu. And you see, Sani Brofo Obetena say na really.
You need to see the
those
kind
things.
of things. Oh, yeah, no, I'm meeting. We are trying to. I mean, let's see how we can work.
You see,
together.
he doesn't fool anybody. And anytime I see him, I just get angry. Because you see, when people are in a crisis in people's lives, people sit there and look in their faces and be talking rubbish and thinking, say anybody has any nobody. Me who they are, say, look at this guy, thinking, say he's fooling anybody. He's not fooling anybody. Kwabena number 2.
But when you say awful.
Oh, it doesn't fool anybody. Kwabena number 2, trust. Program the most viable option. If you want to convince me, say me na me odemeka, and you want to write part of my account off there, then you must tell me, say, oh, option when me assess situation problem ni na or my ni komo. This was option 1. This was option 2. This was option 3. Option 1 had this ramifications, pros and cons. Option 2 had this. Option 3. What were the other available options? What were the options they considered to arrive at the conclusion? Say this debt exchange program was the only solution. The only way they could salvage this economy.
But how many various what do we call it? Groups, yeah, interest groups. Even
the banks, the fund managers are now complaining. Who did they engage? They don't even know what they are doing. You see, Kwabena, what's the debt exchange program, no? So what to me, you want to wipe at least about 3 billion or 4 billion of the debt off. You know, you want to budget in expenditure. Can you look through and see, say, okay, if my total liabilities is 3 billion, right? You can't put all your eggs in one basket. So which area can we cut? Into 3 billion, okay. Can I divide the 3 billion into 2,000 individual bondholders or creditors? It's okay. Creditors. Now a car problem in about 3 billion and we've been able to cut down expenditure in pursuit of economic recovery. And that would have made sense. 2023 budget. Budget name. C'est comme conclusion de kosi cathedral. Any useless project be on person mo any c'est car office of the budget allocation to office of government machinery in Kwabena. Almost 3 billion Ghana cedis. Omo ko di no monum kwa.
So the only call free SHS.
Yes. Now Kwabena uwie ya. Ubehwe me individual bondholder nim say for sanse muna wo di wo awrane system no down no wo no 2023 budget nkura no pon no wo kra no once you didn't cut your coat according to your size, you didn't even become any which sensible human being in the midst of all this who thinks that he wants to build a cathedral, who want to waste money on needless ventures? You do not cut down any expenditure. You still want to live large, rent private jets, do all the foolish things you've been doing that have brought us here, and you come and look in my face, me, the individual bondholder, say, I should sacrifice my life savings for your foolishness. Nobody, no rational person, no matter what, also for so Christian council also for can you say comedy and obi bo wasuma than a farmer commando. Sorry for they won't sacrifice their sweat and blood for your foolishness. Sorry.
Alpha hour. Nebeti Omega hour.
Even they, the men of God, the church, Christ, they won't sacrifice for your foolishness. Now you want me, the individual bondholder, but it be more room, and some of the stories Kwabena would tell and Kwabena in 2023, if we don't take care, people are going to die, especially those who are on serious medications.
But our transition home, so who are not the call. You do any abuse up and Benny, and I say, young girl, find them found.
Kwabena, this country, we need to fight. We need to fight to recover the soul of this country. The soul of this country is in wrong hands, and the hands and the writings are so clear and glaring. You know, and yatina wehu aya no kokwasa. And you see, when some of us started speaking way back in 2017, people thought, "Oh, na dear ben na mokra na dear ben na kakra mama and omkwa omupanansia no ba ban But Kwabena,
baby omo fa free.
Baby omo dey adin free There was only one end. There was only one outcome. Baby omo dey money free And that is why some of us started in 2017. You catch Ghana for say, Debbie. Yes, you know say omo ba ban mu chede. But baby omo starting free. Any kind of monam so no. It will take us to a ditch. Ghana was you people, you are doomsayers. Na se pa for na debia na mo magufu ko fo hunto mo na say na Ghana for trouble ya. But we did not give up. We kept and we've been very consistent. Say these people, one part any kind of monam so no. It is not in a part that will lead to prosperity for the people. It is a part that will bring suffering to the masses.
Okay, so let me ask you, in all this, one question among for Busa, where is Baumia?
Who is Baumia?
Guy Binoa shot. Tia Bisa. Free Narigu.
What is his position in government? What is his position in government?
What's it?
The position of Bamu Yedeng.
Where flag bearer? Hey, or contestive flag bearer.
Sir. Okay.
Dear me, no. Me said I'm Kai.
But to say the position Yedeng.
One of the laptops name to CCTV.
Me will be a friend about me. Me I don't know him. Seriously, I don't know him.
But on the whole serious note.
Come on, I'm serious. I don't know him. Who is he? Who is he? I don't know. Who is he? What is his current position now? Oh, he doesn't have any position.
I think so. Also, I resign.
Because I don't know him. I don't know him. Because I don't know anybody. What role is he playing? Where then?
Okay. So 40. You know.
Kwabena, let's talk about serious issues. So Kwabena, let's talk about serious issues. Kwabena, let's talk about serious issues. And people like the guy, this person you are mentioning his name. Kwabena, if they have any shame, and if they have any little iota of sense in them, the first thing they must do is to apologize to the people of this country. Before anything comes out about Nancy Mobile or say friend Alan Chairman till someone.
Man, of course, I commander sugar factory.
No,
and you might think
miti na minimum Facebook sana meko hu no or kasa wa video bi or kasa come na miti at the end 5 minutes. Na miti when also be president no.
Sa semben welcome. So
Kwabena,
so complain you.
If they have any shame, if they have any shame, Kwabena, the first thing they must do is to apologize to the people of this country.
Why?
For the pain and suffering they've brought on the people. They must apologize. Before anybody who is seeking to contest on the ticket of the NPP can be taken serious in any contest, that person must apologize to the people of this country. And yes, I forget everything you say is total.
But what Alan Chamatin here? Alan Chamatin can say there are certain things they could have done it in a better way.
That is not an apology.
Okay.
That is not an apology.
Or for me try you.
Tell the people you are sorry and apologize for the role you played in that mess. Minor bedu baby ayedui ama the ho kire say about Ghana for so. O say oh anka decision ni bu na no mo nya adwene. Must come again. Come again. The people of this country deserve better. Come now. Yeah, you see, 2016, Uncle Phoebe buy able to no more go near the Ghana for my Ghana for you. Come now, Ghana for near BC nobody. And anybody who thinks that he can come and ride on the people and their sentiments and play some game or buy or no say was it baby neto and a GTP and then I'm saying more say you don't respect Ghanaians.
You're just joking. I've heard them talking about
you don't respect Ghanaians. Audience. As a candidate, that person must first apologize to the people of this country. Until anybody have that guts, confidence, and reverence to do that, there's no candidate for me. Nobody. I think say it is going to be an unopposed contest for the NDC. It will be a yes or no contest for the NDC in the next elections. Until we get anybody
balls for us.
Kwabena, bro. That is not the option. Debbie. Sikana ma wiye ni nyina famra.
Meaning what?
Sikana de na enam and terminals no a fly kono. They should go and bring it back. They should bring those monies back. They should bring them. Come on, yenimi yo. Sikana or Maswako Manano, just you go and bring those monies back. That is the only way, and leave people's bond alone. Leave people's savings alone. Leave people's investment alone. We are not. Kwabena, why are you saying we are
yes, now that is the kind Kwabena, of threats. They are threatening Kwabena, everybody like
go to court. Kwabena, me go tell me bona me court na court ma me judgment country and not give judgment in favor of any bondholder. Because remember, say your decision become law. What you say?
Yeah.
And once you give judgment, also say that hobby. Jomo bana about to go. Also they nashi. And the judges, it's not only judges, lawyers, everybody. Why and to a bond? People have bought these things. What I say, and everybody is affected by these things. And anybody who is aggrieved, at the later time, you all go to court and get judgment, and will identify If I Ghana buying a Japadie,
but Tommy, one amount for more.
Angry, but come now on say, you see. To the sense, it's soon crown to me soon.
You just want to walk away.
You just want to, because I didn't know. I go, and that is what is happening in the country now. People are just fed. Their crisis began. Will be and started the Arab Spring, you know.
They don't care. The reason why they don't care is Obi for pilot.
You see, never underestimate the power of the people. You see, these people, I don't know my they know say Boni Omedino. Definitely there will be consequences. Come on, they know. And you see, it is the game they play is more psychological. They don't let you, they try to let you feel say, oh, Omokrano, Omon They didn't know.
And now Robson keeps on sending me this message that they will pay the judges underground on the quiet, and the judges will rule against, I mean, the vulnerable ones.
Kamna is not going to happen, and that is why they file a class action. Kamna judge now. Odi asem ko tuni ko e ni sika wumbi. Kwabena, it was saying judge for retirement. That's what I'm pensions. So, Kwabena, Alena Ekosono, there is nobody who is spared of the brunt of these people. And that is the danger. It is a common in Ansah, Kwabena, and Kadi is the time and come the Casadenia Crocro and common them come book to do a pagana fortune.
Say we are dear. We are dear too much.
You see, a hand time cocoti. Any Ansah munim.
We are dear and person come bunko to Yaka. We are dear.
Kwabena,
we are dear too much.
And no motuana, domo yina. But you see, Kwabena, it won't fly. Ghanaians have seen them, and Kwabena, people are waiting. And Kwabena, what is happening now for me is even more dangerous if the people were making noise on the streets. Because you see, when people now begin to see, say, okay, well, you must say, we cromfo, we nipa bonini, okay, but what they to see, I encounter, yeah, train. And I know people who have told me, say, the day these people will leave power, they will just enter any police station and tell the police people to lock them up. Because if they leave them, the things they will do. And several people have told me.
Oh, yeah. Me share guys be brave. They tell me
the day these people will leave power.
MPP free power.
Also, you just walk straight to a police station and tell the police people, for 24 hours. After 24 hours, because, and yes, sir, the thing, you see, what is going on is dangerous. And people are taking all this anger in. Small. And they are
just waiting
for the right time. The day, because the Ghanaian is not stupid. The day the Ghanaian will explode. And they are waiting for a time where they know, say, you are at your vulnerable right or for anything else. Because the people know and understand what is going on. And when the time comes, they will take their pound of flesh.
Live on Accra 100.5 Citizen Show. And quick comment from a very good friend in the UK. Kwabena, could you please ask the gentleman that from... I said, would they prefer students' loan to allow? Okay, so, but now, Commander, I totally agree with Ansah Thompson, but the apology should not only come from whoever becomes the MPP flag bearer, but also all of their parliamentary candidates, because they all helped in contributing to the current mess. Thanks, Kwesi Tex in London. Okay, so Kwesi, Kusibodo Osa Mesumensa and your back for. And I see various places in the lights of Basa in the amount for checking my case says by the time Mensa leaves the studio, now Edin Kwabena Ansah is finished. Okay, David Afomau says Kwajo Banredu will be sad. The president unfortunately has lost touch with reality. And that is.
When was the president ever in touch in reality?
I don't know.
When was the president ever in touch in reality?
Maybe from day one.
The guy has always been in his own mind.
Mensa, so people say, Omu change Keno Furiata and Yemba Beya. What would be your response?
Omu change Keno Furiata is going to do two things. You see, our system, the economy, you see, we have two things that affect the economy. We have the internal factors, that the domestic factors, and the external factors. The external players in the economy, one thing that they pay attention to, one, credibility, two, policy direction. And so when you change a minister, it sends a message to the capital market and international players, say there's going to be a policy direction and now there's new credibility.
Would you say with Keno Furiata out, things will be better?
No, just that things will be better, but it will offer an opportunity for the people who are supposed to help us to have confidence in us and begin to come in and support us. But with Keno Furiata still in charge, the international players are still not going to deal with you on a certain level. They are still not going to have, because nothing has changed.
Lamte says, I doubt anything will change. The ship is already down there.
Come now, you see, and that's why we need to draw the distinctions very clear. And you say, Keno Furiata free mupe, all of a sudden things will become better. That's not the point I'm making. The point I'm making is that. Yes, the point I'm making is that, because problem now you want. And your problem, only the internal mechanisms can help us solve. It's a problem which the external players also play a key role in trying to navigate for economic recovery. And one of the things that those external people, they are looking at this: one, is your policy direction, economic policy direction, going to change? And normally the policy direction comes from the minister. The minister's role at the ministry is offer policy direction for the ministry. Yeah. Okay. And is the policy direction going to change? If it's going to change, then they are because they know, say, when you've gone on a certain path, so if things are going to change, then they are willing to look at what sort of changes is the new person bringing on board, what sort of ideas, and if
then they find they can buy into it.
If they find those ideas as fantastic and fresh, then those people can offer the person the needed support to be able to do the things the person has to do for economic recovery. What I say, but when the same person is there, because mind you, you're seeing so Kenofata has been there. He's disrespected a lot of people. Only a lot of
he has stolen much.
Only a lot of players. And you see, these international players, Kwabena, when you move money out of this country, you know. Into Chrono na maboni na Kenofata tena why is aware. Kwabena, why is it that Kenofata doesn't want to leave?
So your money.
There be because Kenofata every hope the next person who will enter that office as finance minister will collapse us or sorry bill. Because Bonia Kenofata could do hono. You see, because one and not testing he can't get up. He can't get up. Hi, you see, so come now. That is the problem.
Okay,
oh, Charlie, why you know so?
Better.
It's ultimately sorry. Come that is the only way. And because come now, the external players know the mess Kenofata is sitting on, and that is why all of them are reluctant. So they want Kenofata to go so that the actual mess can come out.
So typical example is Zenith Bank. Yeah. When yesterday they said they don't want to be part of the government securities and all that. Because I don't know you see, on set Makeka all the problems. The biggest danger of this debt exchange program is not even the people's investment that they are taking away.
But what?
After the debt restructuring, a lot of the local banks are going to collapse. Yes. A lot of the local banks, and as we speak, the ripple effect is a lot of insurance companies are also going to collapse as well. But the people that are going to fall really are the local banks, and most of them are Ghanaian banks.
Thank you.
Kwabena, the final point, let me make it very, very quick. Because and when these banks collapse, we will have a few banks left, and most of these banks that are going to be there are going to be foreign banks. Kwabena, when all your local banks have collapsed and your foreign banks are the only ones operating, what this means is that now your deposits or your capital in the economy are in the hands of foreigners. Kwabena, that is a huge national security threat, because when one day these foreign banks get up and say they are leaving your country, you are gone. And that is the biggest danger of all these things that they are doing, which they are not thinking about.
Jennifer Boachi says, Bobie, I am having a panic attack after listening to Ansah Thompson. Kafra, manisu kura brime. Jean Naturalist Clinic, Dr. 3 days. Was it diabetes, stroke in your jaw? Don't pay me idea.
So who go say the truth?
Go keke.
Who go say the truth?
Thursday night, yeah, the papa.
Christian cancer, silence.
City Herbal Center.
Leaders, silence.
Top Choco.
Silence. Traditional leaders, silence.
Greenfield Scientific Herbal Clinic, and that's how we do it. Live on our crowd, 100.5 Citizen Show.
Where they go,
come for a second. Now, Papa, I want to be channel. Where they go, come for a second. Hey,
who go say the truth?
Atija. Also, if you are one to be pie.
The truth.
Lawrence, where is Listo? Listo is on break. Also a break. But he has other things to do. Definitely he will bounce back. Everybody was afraid. Ansah Thompson, thank you. This is the way I like it.
But who go tell the truth? Nana, or say me. Nanso bien person they can want some, because everybody is afraid. I am afraid more. I could drop on you, darling.